It's just after 1 a.m. on a cold St. Patrick's Day night in Boston, 1990. The city is quiet, still winding down from the day's raucous celebrations. Inside the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, two young guards are on duty. One of them, Randy Heist, is on his very first night shift. Their night is about to take a turn for the surreal, as two men dressed as Boston police officers ring the night bell. They claim to be responding to a reported disturbance. Through the crackle of the intercom, the guard on duty, Rick Abath, sees the uniforms on his closed-circuit television and, in a critical violation of museum protocol, buzzes them in. The second they step inside, the trap is sprung. They're not police, they're thieves. The shorter man in the pair points at Abath, saying he looks familiar and that there may be a warrant for his arrest. He orders Abath to step out from behind the security desk, the very desk that houses the museum's only panic button. Less than 15 minutes later, both guards are subdued, handcuffed, and led to the museum's basement, their heads and eyes wrapped in duct tape. They are cuffed to a workbench and a steam pipe, left in the dark as the thieves disappear back upstairs to begin their work. What happens next defies all logic. The average art heist takes about 10 minutes. But these men, with the city's most valuable treasures at their fingertips, will spend an unprecedented 81 minutes systematically plundering the museum. This is the story of the largest property crime in US history. A crime valued at over $500 million at the time. But it's also the story of a heist that makes no sense. A tale of professional planning, breathtaking incompetence, and a mystery that has haunted Boston for decades. To understand the crime, you first have to understand the victim. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. This was no ordinary institution. It was the lifelong project of its founder, a woman who meticulously arranged every painting, sculpture, and piece of furniture according to her own unique vision. Her will stipulated that this arrangement could never be altered. This meant no major renovations, and by 1990, the museum was a relic of the past with a security system to match. Guards were paid little more than minimum wage, there were no internal cameras, and the panic button system was antiquated and easily defeated. The stage was set for a security catastrophe. The museum's vulnerabilities were laid bare in the pre-dawn hours of March 18, 1990. The security detail consisted of just two guards, Rick Abath and Randy Heist. Heist, as we know, was a novice, a fact that may have been known to the thieves, but it was Abath's actions that have fueled years of suspicion. Before the thieves ever showed up, a crucial and likely catastrophic lapse in security occurred. During his initial patrol, Abath heard fire alarms sounding but couldn't find any fire or smoke. Assuming it was a system malfunction, he returned to the security desk and disabled the alarm panel before finishing his rounds. This created a critical window of vulnerability that the thieves would later exploit. But the most damning moment came at 1:24 a.m., when the two men in police uniforms rang the night bell. Museum protocol required verification of anyone at the door, but Abath, seeing the uniforms, made the fateful decision to let them in. He then made a second fatal mistake, stepping out from behind the desk at the thieves' request, leaving the panic button, the sole method to alert the police, unattended. The ease of their entry and the series of security failures made it seem less like a difficult heist and more like an open invitation. The question that has haunted investigators ever since is, was this a crime of audacious opportunity or a meticulously planned inside job? With the guards neutralized, the thieves began their bizarre 81-minute plunder. This was not a quick smash and grab. Their movements were tracked by motion detectors as they systematically looted the second-floor Dutch room and the first-floor Blue room. The prolonged duration of their stay suggests a high degree of confidence or, perhaps, a lack of precise knowledge about the location of the artworks. They started in the Dutch room, the heart of the heist. Here they found their greatest prizes, Johannes Vermeer's The Concert, a piece so rare that there are only about 36 known paintings by the artist in the world. It is considered the most valuable unrecovered painting on Earth. Next, Rembrandt's only known seascape, Christ in the Storm on the Sea of Galilee, and his magnificent double portrait, A Lady and Gentleman in Black. These were true masterpieces, and this is where the story takes a baffling turn. The thieves, far from being careful art connoisseurs, displayed an astonishing lack of knowledge and care. Rather than carefully removing the works from their frames, they notoriously and brutally cut the canvases of both Rembrandt paintings from their stretchers. Experts have stated that this careless action could have permanently destroyed the works. In the same room, a masterpiece was left untouched. Titian's The Rape of Europa, a painting widely considered the most valuable work in the museum at the time, was spared. Was it too immense to carry? Or was it simply not on a commissioned list? We may never know. They also stole a small Rembrandt etching and a painting by Govert Flinck. The loot also included a Chinese bronze zhu, or beaker, and a Napoleonic eagle finial, an object of little value confusing investigators to this day. The thieves were not discerning, they were simply grabbing what they could. Their actions indicated a transactional approach where the art's intrinsic value was less important than its potential as a financial or political asset. Before they left, they went to the security director's office, where they did one final professional act. They took the video cassettes from the closed-circuit cameras, ensuring there would be no footage of the crime. But in a moment of pure amateurism, they completely missed the motion detector data, which had been recorded on a hard drive and captured their movements throughout the museum. They then made 2 trips to their car, a testament to their confidence and lack of urgency, carrying away a haul now valued at over $1 billion. The guards were not discovered until the new shift arrived around 8 a.m. The scene was one of shock and devastation. The empty frames on the walls were silent witnesses to the crime. The FBI immediately assumed exclusive control, declaring itself the sole agency of any kind in the investigation. This decision was controversial and perplexing, as it immediately alienated the Boston Police Department, which had a robust robbery squad and a network of informants. This go-it-alone approach is widely viewed as a major failure that compromised the investigation from its inception. Key forensic evidence, including the duct tape and handcuffs, was outright lost. Despite the initial missteps, a dominant theory soon emerged, one that the FBI holds with a high degree of confidence. The crime was the work of a New England-based organized crime family, with the art intended as a get-out-of-jail-free card. The FBI has named 2 men, George Reisfelder and Leonardo Di Muzio, as the likely thieves. Both men died within a year of the heist, taking their secrets to the grave. Over the years, a cast of suspicious characters has emerged, each with their own alleged connection to the crime. Bobby Donati, a Boston gangster. Donati is a prime suspect for masterminding the heist. Donati was murdered a year after the heist, a death many believe is linked to the art's disappearance. Robert Gentile, who investigators believed had possession of the stolen art at one point. However, Gentile denied all knowledge of the art until his death. Rickabath, the night watchman who let the thieves in, has been under a pervasive cloud of suspicion for decades. In 2015, the FBI released a security video from the night before the heist showing Abath admitting an unauthorized visitor who lingered at the security desk. Despite the passing of decades, the search for the stolen art remains an active and ongoing investigation. The reward for information leading to its safe return has been increased multiple times and now stands at a staggering $10 million, the largest bounty ever offered by a private institution. The legacy of the Gardner Heist is twofold. On one hand, it represents a catastrophic failure of security and a major misstep by law enforcement. The museum's lax security was a brutal wake-up call, and the heist spurred a new era of security protocols that are now commonplace in modern museums. On the other hand, it has become a powerful cultural touchstone. The story has been immortalized in books, documentaries, and podcasts, ensuring the mystery stays alive for new generations. Today, in the Dutch Room, the empty frames remain hanging on the wall. They are not a sign of defeat, but a poignant and intentional reminder of the loss. After hearing this story, what do you think? Was the Gardner Heist a chaotic crime of opportunity or a perfectly orchestrated inside job?